Hey, what's up, y'all? 2025 American Football Coaches Convention, AFCA. I am here with Antoine McClain. My guy, y'all have been to the podcast. Matter of fact, the podcast is here, right here. He's already done a podcast, but it's the first time I met him in person. That's just crazy, y'all. A lot of these people I haven't met in person. Finally got to meet my guy in person. And we're gonna talk about some stuff, you know what I'm saying? Done an incredible job, or you have done an incredible job.
Thank you.
At Clemson, not only with alumni relations, but everything else you do in player development, your care for former players. Y'all, he has spent time with so many people. Matter of fact, if he has spent time with you, I want you to like this video. Y'all don't be liking the video. Don't like it for me, like the video for Antoine. Nah, but man, I just wanna talk to you, man, about like your experience. A lot of people don't know. I know you don't want me to give y'all kudos. Natty, okay, at Clemson.
Well, I wouldn't say natty. We helped build to where they are, but we won the first ACC that created all the.
And this is why you do bios, okay? So won the first ACC that led to program change. All right, Super Bowl champ.
Super Bowl champion.
You know, and once again, y'all can listen to the episode. You saw somebody change your life. You wanted to dive in player development, player engagement. Mm-hmm. Like, what is it to serve people who wore the same jersey as you? Like, how does that feel? Mm-hmm. And then this year we're gonna talk about some stuff. What were the strengths? And then what are some difficult things as you're doing alumni engagement, as you're helping people, what are some difficulties? But I want you to start off with a lot of stuff y'all did. Mm-hmm. Now, you have been responsible for a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. I know you know what I'm saying? We at AFCA, Antoine, everybody pulling at him, so I got a little time. No, but talk to us about some of the stuff that you created at Clemson.
Well, I helped create, for one, help continue to build the foundation of what overtime is by former players. I helped to bring in my stuff that I learned, like agent education, helping revamp that because I played football at a higher level. I had an agent. Also, too, man, our elevated tailgate, which helps our former players see the value in being a donor or giving back, not just with your money, but with your time and your resources.
Oh, yeah.
And also, too, putting my swing on things as far as our current scholar athletes, programming-wise. Yeah. So, just little idiot things there to help those guys, flourish. And just being a part of the team to help, my input was always needed in that space and always encouraged. So, all our programming, I had a chance to help, put our spin on it, put our spin in it. So it helped me develop more on that space, but also to help from my experiences, help our program be better.
And one thing I've always enjoyed when I look at your programming, a lot of people can see surface level cyclical stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So let's, for instance, I'm just gonna grab something that happened. Y'all do the alumni barbecue. Mm-hmm. But talk about the depths of that. It's not just, every year we're gonna do a barbecue. Can you talk to people about the depths of that engagement and what that does?
Yeah. So first off, the logistic wise is setting all that up. I started 3 months out and all the stuff we gotta make sure it's done. Planning for rain, not all that cool, but the dope thing about it is it's great for camaraderie and fellowship, but a lot of guys that haven't been there in a while get to come back. And I make sure I see them and tap in with them, make sure they're good, and then those guys end up getting jobs. Those guys end up, figuring out their purpose. Those guys figuring out, all right, well, cool. Clemson does have my back, or just helping them continue development in their life. Yeah. So that's the purpose of in my opinion, the barbecue. And get to watch and talk trash about football and
the different
seeing the growth.
Yeah.
That's the big one. Their families, their growth, learning about what they're into. Oh, you do X, Y, and Z? Well, hey, we got 3 or 4 students that want to do X, Y, and Z. They become a mentor.
Yeah.
So it serves in the full circle, brother.
I love that. So I'm giving y'all, I'm doing an alumni engagement episode. I finally did it. And so I'm gonna ask you some questions based off my 3-pillar alumni engagement, which is build, maintain, and expand. So building, how does that, when you're reaching out to, let's say, alumni who have not responded, and one group of alumni I feel like is neglected is the new alumni, the rooks. I call it the people who just graduated. Right. How do you build those what are some tangible ways you build those relationships in alumni engagement?
When guys don't respond, or just
overall, just building reach out, I'm the new guy, whatever it may be.
So what I did when I first got to Clemson in that role, I beat the pavement with LinkedIn, Instagram, and said, hey, I'm X, Y, and Z. Some of them already knew because I played with some of them. Right. This is what I'm doing, boom, boom, boom. Please give me your contact that you're gonna answer to.
Yeah.
And then
That's the key. That's the key.
And then I was saying stuff that I had resources wise, and then so I got on my feet and figured out what was gonna be. But on LinkedIn, I see a guy doing great things, I repost it, say Clemson football alumni. So everybody see
I
that.
seen those. Hey, like if you see it. Y'all not liking. Like if you see it.
Or if I have a great resource for our guys, I put it in our, we have like a Facebook group for our former players. We have a LinkedIn group. I put everything from a newsletter in that, or anything resource-wise in that, any announcement in that. Yeah. So guys can say, I don't have it, I didn't get it. But building, I think for more, just continue to say what we're doing and keeping those guys engaged. For the ones who don't respond, when they come to an event, I kind of give them hell a little bit, but I still, hey, I'm here for you, bro. Yeah. I'm here for one, for connection, to celebrate you, and also help you continue to figure out what you want to do, whether that's being an alumni, whether that's being a resource, or you want to figure out what you want to do next. So, so to that point, that's how I build. And now just, always posting stuff for Clemson, and as far as like, that might interest them, and just continue to tap in, and then newsletter-wise, but when it comes to an event, I make sure I'm tapping in with everybody. Part of my thing is I'm gonna do my thing first, and I'm gonna work the floor. But I'll make sure I'm being genuine with that. Yeah. So
I like that. So then, which brings up my next point, is the maintain point. Mm-hmm. So as you're building, as those who have been engaged from I graduated, I'm engaged, I'm giving, like you said, not only money, but I'm giving time. How do you maintain those who are locked in and in a sense don't need, they gonna come to everything? Right. How do you maintain, and if you could talk about the importance of maintaining that relationship there?
Oh, always, because you never know what might change with what they want to do. But I'm always engaging through our media stuff, but to keep I always keep everybody fresh on stuff that's going on. I always try to create something for our guys, to have more ideas for them, and then maintaining wise, checking in. Hey, I know last time we talked X, Y, and Z. How's that going? One thing you helped me out with when I first got here, bro, in your first book you wrote.
It's in the show notes.
You talked about the alumni engagement piece, and it helped me a lot to keep everybody engaged. Yeah. The 2 month, 3 months, 6 and 9, and all that helped me. All right, so this group came out, so just stay on that track. Yeah. With the 2 years or a year, the 9 months, 3 months, and 6 months. So that way, I make sure I'm hitting everybody. Yeah. So from the time I arrived there, from Clemson era, from Sweeney's era, I make sure all those guys was in that. So they helped me out a lot, bro.
I appreciate
what my father was. So that's how I make sure I continue to build with those guys. Yeah. I'm checking in, hey, X, Y, and Z. Last time we talked from my notes or whatnot, just me memorizing what we talked about. Right. I kind of build on that. But you helped me a lot with that in your first book. So before I got to UNC Charlotte, I read your book.
The first book. The third one's coming out. The third one's coming out. It's going to be a physical copy. So be on the lookout for that one. And then the last piece, expanding. I'm a big believer, and I've seen you do it, and multiple times on LinkedIn. If you're not on LinkedIn, you're tripping. But I'm a big believer in expanding, right? So many times, and I've been, when I first got in the role, this was my problem. Oh, let me expand to only football alumni. But you got a whole entire athletic department, and then you got a whole entire university that shows up to the game. Right. Who, you know what I'm saying? Who went there? So talk about how you expanded. Yeah, I'm serving football alumni, but to serve the current players, I need to reach out to the, sport athletic department, and then graduates of the university.
So to the point of it, to answer that question, we have this thing called Tigerhood. And first off, everybody loves Paul's journey. Everybody want to be a part of it in some way. So and Rashad did a good job of reaching out to people who, might need help or assistance in that span of career-wise. Right. But for me, I look at, the resource thing again. How can, we bring not just football alumni, but all alumni, even guys who are our academic advisors who are doing their own thing now. Anybody who want to help and portray our young men, we welcome that, as long as they meet the criteria and all that. Right. But that helps, make it a Clemson thing, not just a Clemson football thing. So just, I'm on the sideline, I see X, Y, and Z. How you doing, man? I remember you from when I played, or I see your name somewhere, or it's just I remember you from when I was a freshman here. So always including our alumni in our mentorship program, and then just 2 people that I know that was in different seats or whatnot. Just keeping everybody abreast of what we're doing. Everybody loved to know what we're doing as far as football, but being in depth with that. So that's how we kept keep it a Clemson thing.
Perfect, man. I appreciate that. Now, you've seen all the positives. You've heard him talk about all the positives. We're gonna talk about some let's call them difficulties or challenges.
Pluses and deltas.
There it is.
As they say.
There it is. Some of those that you have in the role. So what are some challenges that people need to know? Because what I want to do, and this is, y'all hear my heart out. Y'all know me. I've been as real as I can be on this player development pod. We're going to 2025. We're going to start talking about some challenges because there are challenges in the role. So if you can talk about a few, you ain't got to name them all. But
I got you. No. I know with player development as a whole, like, you always battling for those guys' time. Thank God we had a guy like Coach Swing who understood the power of development and, our guy need to be developed.
Right.
So, and him trusting Jeff Davis with that. So we always have a time to say, hey, this is our programming for the year.
Yeah.
We always make sure we go around the schedule and making sure that, but at the same time, some stuff might get shift.
Yeah.
And we have to be able to play off that, which we're good at, being ambidextrous or being flexible. So that's one of the things that helps with that. Also, too, sometimes people have that different version of what player development is. So sometimes they think it's a task dump, but it's not. We are developing scholar athletes. We're not just, this is a Paul journey thing. No, bro, that's a football ops, or this is something y'all are doing.
Correct.
And that's like student athlete development as a whole, or just player development as a whole. Right. So people really, and then too, one of the biggest things was, some people can't really speak to development the way the staff can. They look at it as like, they just help them get jobs out of football. Yeah. We always say in PJ was, football is not, life ain't happening after football, it's happening right now. So a lot of people think we're getting ready for after football. No, we're empowering them to be ready to go right now. Yeah. So people might have a misunderstanding of what that is. People have their own version of what player development is, and learning what that is. And then too, sometimes in my role, I know for sure, in the alumni role, like I know I was wearing multiple hats, so you got to worry about stepping on people's toes or people stepping on your toes, and how to be very conflict resolution nice or in that phase, been keeping it PC. Yeah. So, I mean, those three are, in my opinion, the biggest ones I have to, combat in my role at Clemson and whatnot. So, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's a great opportunity to figure out where you are as a human, as a professional. Yeah. But those kids are watching you, how you maneuver, and they know, they can smell it. So
there it is, man. I'm trying to tell. When I used to work with young people, like, man, they watching you more than they listening to you, man.
And they know, and they get it. They know, but like, how are you showing up every day as a professional? And how are you maneuvering when it's a hard time? And how are you staying true to who you are? Because they are watching. Because especially us, because we played there. Yeah. And they see us all. Like, I go to the locker room, have a good time with those guys. I swag out with them. I do all the cool stuff. But I'll try not to blend in too much, but show them that, bro, I was in your spot. Yeah. Like, and I played for this man, or just I understand what you're going through, so trust me. Yeah. And once you build that, I think all the other stuff, Jeff always tell me, man, and I end with this, you're gonna always have your battles, but the vision is always gonna keep you steadfast, keep you going. So whether that's your marriage, your job, Paul journey, comes to football, like whatever your vision was, that's what always keep you going. So when stuff get hard, so I always use that as myself. So
well, man, look, thank you so much. Don't want to take too much of your time. Go. Got a rapid fire question. Here we go.
Oh yeah.
Here we go. All right. If you were getting barbecue. In the I'm gonna give you the United States.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you the United States. Where are you going, and tell us why?
Man, I won't necessarily say, because I started football in NFL in Maryland, so I was going to famous days, but the real live barbecue places, I won't say restaurants, but we have a debate today about Texas, Kansas City, or Memphis.
Hey, I'm Texas.
So the best I've had was in Kansas City.
I live in Kansas City, so okay.
Wait. But barbecue, the best barbecue I had in Texas was homemade. It was a cookout.
Hey.
We do our thing. And then Memphis, I haven't had Memphis barbecue yet. So I would say, in my restaurant-wise, KC was great restaurant. I forgot what restaurant it was, but then as far as State-wise, Texas, because that was, besides my parents or my own, but like Texas has some good homemade barbecue.
There it is. And you know what's crazy? He segued into the part of this conversation I normally forget. If you want to check out that barbecue that he found somewhere in Kansas City, you should come to the 2025 Player Development Summit. It is in Kansas City, May 29th through 31st. See you there.
Oh yeah.
That's all I got, man. Appreciate it.
Nah, man. Thank you, bro. Finally great to meet you, man.
I know, man.
It's been about 5 years.
5 years,
But bro, I want to give you a testament, man. You've helped me a lot through my journey, bro. I know everybody like reached out to you, but like when I was a young buck and you was still working, you was at Baylor.
Yeah.
And I was interviewing for the jobs before I was anywhere. But like you took the time to text or email me back and even recommend me for a job when you left. So I appreciate that, brother.
Thank you, man. Hey, FIFA, that's real. Appreciate you.
My guy.